this point, Li Xiaoxia stretching Kasumi Ishikawa to the limits of her leg span there. And speaking of the crowd in the 9,000, they've been here to watch 676 total team contests in this tournament, in an 8-day tournament. Just amazing. Right now, the tactics we're seeing, Lee is controlling the points and is going to outlast Ishikawa if this is the game that they get into.
Who has the most economical technique?
Let service.
2 love.
Li Xiaoxia coming right in, using that wingspan to get up near the net and just smack that ball with the backhand. Not even very high. What a backhand flip. I mean, in the replay, we could see Ishikawa's receive not too shabby. And that one seemed a little bit higher from where we're sitting, but it was much closer to the net. And on the backhand side of the table, we've seen Li Xiaoxia step into the middle and even around. The ball just looked uncomfortable for her. It's 1-3, Ishikawa's serve. Now that is some outstanding power. That's the turning forehander on the backhand corner. And Gavin's absolutely right. Ishikawa's got the upper body twist on that. Compact, even still, to get all that power.
That upper body rotation adds to the deception as well.
Ishikawa ties it up. 3 in a row for Li Xiaoxia and 3 in a row for Kasumi Ishikawa as they go over for the towel break. Big thanks to our stats guy, Matt Solt in New Zealand, for his tireless amounts of work making us look much smarter than we actually are. Let service.
3 all.
Lee's gonna try that again. Ishikawa in full extension, but putting enough spin on the ball to drive Li Xiaoxia's block off the table. Li trailing by 1, 3-4. Outstanding point, unbelievable tactics. You can see here, big backhand to start off the point, but the extension of Ishikawa's forehand block brings it right back. Fast-paced, one after another. And then a little bit of power from Ishikawa to take it. She's up 5-3 with the serve. Beautiful placement, deep on the table, the topspin right into the body. Li Xiaoxia stuck in the middle with nothing to do.
It's clever because that action looks exactly the same as the short service delivery.
What placement again? There's no telling where Ishikawa's gonna go with that ball until the moment she hits it. Beautiful. She just waits on it patiently, an extra second to take it down the backhand side.
That was unlucky. That was a side spin, top spin serve, but Ishikawa knew that and tried to hack underneath it.
Not a bad first ball, a little high, very spinny. Next ball, very deep on the table, took a funny bounce. Now, one thing we haven't seen a lot of from Ishikawa, and we're not going to right now because she's serving, is the flip attack. You mentioned the last serve she received had some top spin and side spin, and she pushed it instead. But we've seen some powerful over-the-table play from Ishikawa throughout this tournament. Nice soft ball, change of pace, but Lee was equal to it, stayed right in, and put the pressure back on. Ishikawa's lead from 7-3 down to 7-6. Last 3 in a row to Lee. Ishikawa with the serve. And an unbelievable covering counter cross-court by Lee. Very spinny ball from Ishikawa on the backhand. Look at all that wrist. Right off the bounce, Lee keeping it as low as possible. Just amazing.
I thought that was interesting, though. Ishikawa changing to the straight chop service. Every serve she's done up till now had been a side spin service, so I believe she is thinking well, but 7-all.
We haven't seen her step around and take that powerful forehand in a little bit. That seemed like a very solid plan. And that shot has worked almost every time for Lee Xiaoxia. Middle of the table, and even on the forehand side, she comes in with the backhand and just punches it.
And it's better to just play the percentage shot cross-court. There's no point in bringing error into the game by punching down the line and making the shot more difficult than it should be.
Again, that top spin, side spin serve. Not a great read by Ishikawa. Great deception from Lee Xiaoxia. And a push instead of a flip goes long. And now Ishikawa has lost the last 6 points to be down 7-9. What a streak. Lee Xiaoxia with the big forehand there. Right now she's showing incredible backhands right off the bounce, close to the table game, even over the table game. And now the big forehand, and it is 3 game points for Lee Xiaoxia.
How many times at the business end of a set do the Chinese players step up?
Speaking of stepping up, Ishikawa really staying on top of that point. About 4 or 5 balls could have ended the point and would have against most players. Ishikawa still down by 2. Lee with 2 serves and 2 game points, 10-8.
Do you stick to the trusted serve? The little dump serve into the middle? We'll soon see.
Right idea by Ishikawa, better response. Misreading the serve, going to the length of the table, but it sails out, and Lee Xiaoxia with an amazing comeback takes the first game and is up 1-0.
I would like to take this opportunity to say a big thanks to Club Tomax from Chiba, just outside of Tokyo, who have looked after me this week, made me feel at home. Thank you for their hospitality. They bring on a lot of up-and-coming kids, 3 fantastic tables and a small facility. So thank you to Ishikawa Takaharu for his time and perseverance this week.
What we saw in the first game. To start the second game, a little bit slower play and a heavy push from Ishikawa to take the first point. Outstanding placement from Ishikawa right to the middle again. Taking a little bit of power away from Lee Xiaoxia. She turns to the forehand on that ball to the middle. Our last game, Ishikawa started off strong, up 7-3 and still lost 8 of the last 9 points. Great backhands, one after another from Ishikawa, but Lee prepared, fighting through and winning the point. Look how compact those strokes are from Lee Xiaoxia. Strong serve, deep on the table, looked like heavy underspin. And that serves one of the point outright many times, but a great read from Lee as she spins it up deep on the table and it kicks into the edge of Ishikawa's racket.
High friction tables, the ball jumping and kicking around.
What a backhand, tuck and unload. Lee Xiaoxia showing just unbelievable power. The 1-inch punch of Bruce Lee. Very, very tough to do anything against that shot. I guess Ishikawa's got to do whatever she can to keep the pace on and move her around, not let her set it up. But a very smart choice by Ishikawa to hit that last ball into the middle. The forehand court was a little more open, but the forehand of Lee Xiaoxia is very strong, and she probably would have been able to reach it. Gutsy, smart thinking in a moment's time from Ishikawa, and it's tied up at 3 apiece. Little bit off the top of the net, Ishikawa with a quick apology, but she's turning around and using her forehand, which is very important. That's how she got a lot of the first points in the first game.
When the players have been receiving serve and going with the flick receive, they've done a little bit better. When players are a little bit defensive and pushing out, they've lost quite a few points in the receiving game.
So it's really nice to see the Olympic champion fired up out here. Every single point counts, and this match should be one of the closest matches for this overall team matchup. Lee Xiaoxia fighting for every single point. No expectations here, just to play her hardest. And that's what's...
Yeah.
Oh no, go ahead.
Lee Xiaoxia, extremely animated there, trying to keep ahead in this match. 1 single point in the lead.
That backhand again. It doesn't take a lot of recoil. Just back a little bit with the wrist, and then from down low, right through the ball, just snaps. Arm loose like a whip. And the final cracking point of that whip that breaks the sound barrier is her wrist. Couldn't tell if that was a leg service. It sounded like something happened really fast to the backhand. I guess it was just as deep on the table as could be, catching the edge for the bounce. Ishikawa trailing by 1, 5-6. Little bit of a rush shot right off the bounce. The forehand, she's sticking to it. I think that's a good thing. Timing is going to be a very important factor.
Lee Xiaoxia doing well to flick out there off the straight service. When there's side spin on the ball, it's easier to work with that side spin.
And the block before the last shot. Incredible pace deep on the table. There's a shot of a guy in the crowd who's probably significant to somebody on the court. Get more about that in a bit, maybe. Ishikawa trailing by 3. Lee with the serve, 8-5. And a nice decision to step around and take the forehand attack, but it's right into the blocking chambers of Xiaoxia. She stays steady, and once again taking the point, goes up 9-5. Crowd cheering Kasumi. Definitely behind Ishikawa right now. Big backhand. We've seen all the backhand power coming from Xiaoxia. And so far, the weaponry for Ishikawa has been the forehand, but showing some versatility and innovation as she uses the backhand to take that point. What a ball and pose there. 2 in a row with the crowd behind her. Can home court advantage bring Xiaoxia down from 9-7? Can it bring Ishikawa back from 9-5?
Can Ishikawa be proactive in receive though? Either that or touch short, keep her opponent out.
Very unfortunate for Ishikawa on that. Great opening, received nice and close to the net, and the ball hitting the top of the net as short as can be. A little bit of a delayed reaction, and Ishikawa almost goes into the splits. It's 3 game points for Xiaoxia to go up 2-0. And she does it with the first one. 11-7, Xiaoxia now leads 2-0, game 3 in just a minute. So as we come back for game 3, Kasumi Ishikawa is trailing 0-2. Xiaoxia with the lead. We got some Twitter questions from Matt Hetherington in New Zealand. What tactics should Ishikawa use in the second half of the set to keep control if she leads again in the second game? Well, applying that to the third game, Gavin and I think into the body and then wide out to the forehand might be a successful combination. Right idea there. The last ball was into the body a little bit. Tried to go wide with the backhand ball. The heavy underspin serve was well read by Xiaoxia. She loops it up and starts the pace of the rally. It's a 2-point lead for Li.
That was just a set play from Xiaoxia. Digging long, keeping the racket up and making a soft reloop. So she's thinking well.
Outstanding start to that point from Ishikawa. 2 powerful balls over the table. Look at that forehand flip. One more. And from back off the table manages to stay in the point. The backhand of Li, very intimidating over the table. Led service. Crowd is quiet as when there was nobody here last night at 4 in the morning.
Xiaoxia sneaking again into the middle of the table just to change the angle a little bit and disturb the receive.
There was definitely a change in energy from the crowd because that's a big point. Early in game 3, Ishikawa ties it up at 2-all, now has the serve. persistent play and consistency from Ishikawa. Xiaoxia staying strong on the backhands one after another. Little bit into the middle, forcing Xiaoxia to make a quick decision, and the forehand took a little more time and the shot was not there. Ishikawa now has the lead 3-2. Outstanding point, one after another. Ishikawa able to bring back several strong attacks from right near the table. Look how close to the table Xiaoxia is. Quick reactions, it's amazing she can get so much pace on that forehand in such a moment's decision.
Xiaoxia exuding confidence at the moment and moving well, especially to the wide forehand.
From Ishikawa as the ball drifts off the table. She's expecting push. It looks like it's going to stay short and quickly turns the racket around to take the forehand spinning shot. Amazing world-class play on that receive. And this time the deceptive underspin from Lee. So many times before that serve had topspin and Ishikawa was wrong to push it. She tried to change her ways, and here it was underspin. 4-all. Beautiful backhand right off the bat, wide to the forehand side, like we were talking about. One to the middle, and then wide out to the forehand. And even though Xiaoxia was on the backhand side, she could feel that the ball was in the middle and might have wanted to turn for the next shot. Very smart tactics. The softball left up a little too high, and with the wingspan and footwork of Xiaoxia staying in close, she was capitalizing on that. Look how short that stroke is. The follow-through is almost nothing, so she can get back for the fastest game in the world.
Xiaoxia keen to finish this off 3-0. Don't want added pressure.
Excellent serve with topspin to the short side of the table to the backhand. Xiaoxia, smart serve, goes up 6-5, still up 2-0.
A lot of different serves in her armory as well, Adam.
Absolutely, Xiaoxia's got a bag full of tricks. There it is again, over the table, that backhand. She is there before the ball even bounces. Look at that. So fast. And now as the players go to towel off, there's a good question from Eddie Z88. Do you think Kasumi should only do spinny serves since Lee can return them so easily, or keep variation? I think variation's a strong idea. Got to keep the opponent guessing.
If you use a spinny serve and someone gets it back, there's a lot of spin on the ball and it's difficult to counteract that. So a lot of dead serves are important, I think, when someone's reading the big serves.
Right, at this level of play, it's not how much spin you put on it. As long as the opponent can read it, they know what to do. If you can deceive them in any way, shape, or form, make it look like there's a lot of spin, and then suddenly there's not, you might get them to dump it into the net or pop it up just enough to get that attack.
And when I'm back in London, I do a lot of serving workshops. How to caress the ball, how to use the wrist through the ball, placement around the table. That's really important. It's not always about big serves that you can't control.
Time.
So this time out, Ishikawa, Gavin, you've been coaching outstandingly throughout this tournament. What are your thoughts for Ishikawa's game other than to the middle and out wide to the forehand?
Possibly as well, looking to serve short to the Xiaoxia forehand.
Good call. We haven't seen her cover with a forehand flip in a long time, but the backhand is shown very strong from over the table. That one a little more to the middle, a little bit lower serve. Possibly the variation of spin making it tough for Lee to use that backhand. Still trailing by 2. The timeout so far so good for Ishikawa. 8-6, Lee's serve. just missing the table. High pressure backhand punch. Shows some fearless play. Not a time to play careful. And that ball is just too good. A nice maiden trap there, deep on the table, heavy backspin, so she knows she's gonna get a spinny ball. It was up a little bit, she was able to close in counterattack, and now it's 4 match points for Xiaoxia of China. And almost the same sequence, but this time, we see the timeout called by Kunling Wei. Nice block by Ishikawa. Not sure what happened there. Last time we saw a card given for someone calling the timeout and the player turning it down. As far as we know, in this tournament, that is not allowed. Find out more about that shortly. What a block! Xiaoxia right off the bat.